Joining me. So we are a beautiful day, Friday afternoon. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm going to share with you how you can use gravity to actually help you burn more fat and get stronger. This is kind of an interesting topic, and I don't know why. There we go. Finally, my computer is picking up properly and recording in landscape mode. So with that said, I'm going to see if I can set this camera up right here. I'm going to just tie it around. Oh, that just broke off. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, so I think that's all right. Okay, good. So here we are. How's it going, guys? You doing good? Having a good day? Excellent. Alejandra, how you doing? How's it going, guys? You want to see something cool? So I'm recording this and I'm speaking on the camera at the same time. Isn't that trippy? This is kind of weird. All right, so if you want to see the recordings of these videos, you can go to my YouTube channel. What is my username? Yelkaim1 is the username on YouTube you want to follow. And it's an amazing, beautiful Friday afternoon. Hope your week has been amazing. And I want to share with you a really cool idea that will really, I think it'll get you to think about exercise a little bit differently. And remember, before we get into this, I want to just share something with you that the way I look at exercise is really a way of just kind of like really feeling good and looking good and using your body as a way to just enhance the way you feel, not just the way you look. And I went for a run yesterday with Amy, and we have this beautiful, I think my camera's going off to the side here. One sec. So we went for this run down by the river, and there's this awesome hill that I look forward to running up whenever I can. So I'll get down there. It's about a 5-minute run from our house to get to the hill, and then we'll just crank out a bunch of hill sprints. And it just reminded me of the power of working against gravity, especially if your goal is to not only get stronger but burn a lot more fat, and do so without crushing your body in the process. So before I continue, I just want to make sure that you guys can see me okay. The Wi-Fi connection is good. We're not having any connection issues, are we? Certainly hope not. Otherwise, it'll be all like robotic, choppy. Okay, so here's the thing. When you are working... Okay, so let me put it this way. Let me ask you a question. Is it easier for you to walk on a flat ground, kind of a horizontal surface, or on an incline? What do you think? Easier on an incline, or sorry, easier on a flat surface, or easier on an incline when you are walking or running? Let me know in the comments. And if the comments are not coming through, it's probably a connection thing, or you guys just don't want to participate. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to just share the answer with you nonetheless. So when you're working on a flat surface, awesome job. There we go, guys. There we go. Good. On an incline is more challenging. Now, obviously, the more of an incline you go through or go to, the more challenging it becomes. Now, why is that? Well, if I think back to the one usable thing that I actually got from math in school, it is probably some calculus, Pythagorean theorem or whatever, where, and again, I'm completely not talking with any sense here, but essentially, to make it simple, is the greater the angle or the steeper the incline becomes, the more challenging it becomes for you to work against. Now, that's not rocket science, right? You kind of know that intuitively when you start working on an uphill grade. But here's the thing, is that when you look at modalities of exercise that are going to be the most effective for you to burn fat and get stronger, you want to think about how do you move against gravity a little bit more often. So that's why I'm a huge fan of the stair climber, right? Because here you are walking pretty much, almost vertically, right? So the stair climber, not the stepper, but the actual rotating thing of stairs that has you working against gravity. I mean, I love stair work in general because you are working almost vertically. So same thing with working uphill is when it comes to running and good running mechanics, you don't want to go too steep, but if you can walk up a hill, right, climbing a mountain is very challenging compared to walking on a flat surface. So how do we do this with exercise? How do we do this on a day-to-day basis where we can challenge ourselves against gravity, where we're using more of the vertical components, right, which requires us to work a lot harder? So things like walking up a hill, and I've talked about this so many times. You can also look at cycling up a hill, right? Cycling actually is much more challenging up a hill than running up a hill is, and there's biomechanical factors in that make it more challenging. You can also look at, as I said, stair climbing as a really good mechanism to move against gravity. When you compare stair climbing to, trying to think of an example here. So you got again stairs that might be that are closer together and higher up. So what I'm trying to get at here is when you move, think about how can you move against gravity a little bit more effectively and maybe a little bit more often. So for instance, squatting, deadlifts, moving away from the floors to above your head, that's all vertical motions, vertical movements that are working against gravity, because gravity wants to take a weight from up here and drop it to the floor. So it's really effective when you can use when you kind of work against gravity to kind of get the most benefit out of that. One of the ways to really harness this is, and I talk about this extensively in the all-day fat burning diet, is the use of eccentric training, right? So the slowing, right, the returning motion, as the negative as they call it in weight training circles. When you are returning to your starting position, so let's use the example of a push-up. You start at the ground, you push yourself up, you're at the top, arms straight, right? The lowering down of the push-up is the eccentric or the negative portion of that movement. So what's happening here is your body wants to hit the floor because of gravity. So by slowly lowering your body against the pull of gravity, you get a much, much better training effect. And we know, based on what the science shows us and based on anecdotal and thousands of other people training around the world, and millions of other people training around the world with eccentric training, is that the eccentric training, kids are home, I gotta close the door in a second. The eccentric training is what's going to cause the soreness in your muscles. That's going to cause the delayed onset muscle soreness that you feel after a workout, but that's also where you recruit the most amount of muscle fiber, and doing so helps you get stronger, develop more power, and prevent injuries. So it's a really cool way of training. So again, think about if you're doing a squat. From a standing position, slowly lower down, right, to about parallel with your thighs, and then explode back up to standing. Slowly lower down, explode back up. Chin-ups, right? Force, slowly lower back down to full extension. So think about when you're working in a vertical motion, a huge bang for your buck. It's also going to create a good amount of soreness, which means you're not going to be able to work out as often, which is fine, right? Because your body needs to adapt. Training is simply a stimulus to allow your body to do so. So hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? Just want to, a quick little tip today for you, and I hope this makes sense. So again, we're using gravity. We want to slow our body against gravity to really enhance our body's ability to strengthen itself, because otherwise you're just allowing gravity to slam you back to the floor. Really effective for bodyweight training, right? So if you don't want to use weights, then one of the best ways to get more out of your bodyweight sessions is to use very slow eccentrics and an explosive push. So you want to move, or you want to intend, right? Intend to move your body as explosively as possible on the movement against gravity, right? On the way up, for instance, but nice and slow on the way down. Explode, nice and slow on the way down. Cool? All right, so there we go. I want to invite you actually to Periscope, and I want to ask you, can you save my dogs? So if you want to see what that's all about, go to the page. I think you'll find it quite funny. So check it out, and Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for the hearts. Care Bear, send off, lots of hearts. Just tap the screen. And once again, the page to go to check out is yurielkaim.com/Periscope. It's a special page that I set to save my dogs. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, check it out. All right, guys. Have a great afternoon. Talk to you most likely tomorrow. And there we go.